Hey, 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 what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, this is Eyes on Smash Bros. Radio, the only digital radio station, award winning digital radio station located in Birmingham, Alabama. What's going on? It's Thursday. Happy Friday's Eve to you. If you're not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to Smash Bros. Radio. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us, Facebook, Instagram. Like, follow, share. Also, we have an app. Please download our app. Take us wherever you go. Enjoy us. Appreciate you. As for me, I'm Oz. You can find me on practically every social media out there. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you tremendously. Going into the 15th day of February, so we're halfway there. Halfway there. Leap year, leap year, leap year. I was always wondering, is this leap year? I thought that was the time that it was reverse roles to where uh, the focus is on the men and not the women. But I found that them lies because this Valentine's Day, I didn't see anywhere where the gentlemen were honored or paid attention to. But it is what it is. So we ain't even want to touch that right now. That's a different subject for a different day. But I appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate you stopping in and seeing what the hell I'm go doing. So I was talking to a good friend of mine from high school, and we were talking about uh, former classmates and how they were doing. And we realized that we're blessed in more ways than one. And so I started thinking, I started thinking about this show last night. You have so many things that are changing, that are evolving. And so we're going to talk about that. But before that, please do not forget that on November 9th, the Southern Bully Showdown 2 is over at the Bessemer Civic Center, 1130 9th Avenue Southwest. There are going to be 4 ICBR shows, one huge fun show. So it is family oriented. As I've stated previously, if you have any questions, if you are a vendor, if you wish to sponsor, you can also serve as a donor. If you are wanting to participate, if you want to register to show your dog, get in touch with DeJuan Hall at 205-460-6435, 205-460-6435. This is a way of bringing more information out there about the bully breed. So it's a good time to get together too. Also, if you have a dog that is aggressive, if you have a dog that is in heat, we really don't want you there because that would just cause more problems. So, but please come out November 9th, the Southern Bully Showdown 2. You can get in touch with DeJuan Hall, 205-460-6435. Again, if you are a vendor, if you have a food truck, if you want to sponsor, if you want to donate, if you want to volunteer, get in touch with DeJuan. Also, booths are being sold. Check out his page, DeJuan Hall or 1888 Kennel. You'll find the information on my page. So please check them out. Please check them out. Please check them out. Getting old is hell. You can't be a pussy and be old. There's too much. There's too much. You just can't. You have to be strong. You have to have diligence. You have to have tenacity. You have to have some type of arrogance. You have to have some type of spunk, some type of spirit, some type of determination to be old. My godmom turned 81 years old yesterday on the 14th, and she mentioned that her world is gone. And I couldn't understand. Then when I sat back and started thinking about it, I understood what she was saying. Uh, what she once knew as a norm is no longer the norm. We're doing things differently than what she did back in her day. And then when you fast forward it, I turned 64 January 29th. And when I look back, things aren't being done the same. And so uh, you cannot be weak and be old, especially in this system of things, the way things are being handled today. You cannot be weak. You cannot be wimpy. You cannot be unassuming. Whatever you can't. And so it brought about a lot of thought. Uh, if you're blessed to have elders, uh, I don't know, and I understand that parents, you're going through a lot, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I cannot even fathom. I cannot even imagine what it's like to be a parent nowadays dealing with what. So if you compare that to someone who is your elder, then you pretty much have an understanding that if it's hard for you, can you not understand how hard it is for someone who is getting close to retirement, or someone who is retired, or someone who is living off of Social Security, um, and you're old, and so you have all these things going through your head, and being 64. Uh, I don't really need that attention. I really don't want that attention. And I've been blessed to have God kids and friends to understand that we can call and just check on him and he's fine. You know, I don't need the attention. I don't want the attention. Uh, there are individuals out there who want the attention, who require the attention, and rightfully so. They should have the attention if they have spent their life and are still looking after their families, making sure that their family has everything that they can possibly can. Well, then it's only their right that they want that attention. Now, if you have elders like mine, they would tell you, "Oh, we're fine, we're good." They're just saying that because they don't want to be a burden on you. So it doesn't take any time for you to sit back or just call them throughout the day. I'm calling to find out how you doing. What's up with you? How's your day going? You need anything? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, no, I'm fine. I don't need anything. But you need to take the time to sit back and think. Then not with them being retired, I understand now. And I think it was my ego for me to say that I'm on a fixed income made me feel like I was poor. But that's exactly what I am. I'm on a fixed income. I have Social Security as well as teachers' retirement. So I'm on a fixed income. What is set is set. Whereas as being a teacher, there was always supplements. There was always other ways of earning money. And so with being retired, I don't have that ability. And then with me having Social Security disability, you're limited. So see, even people with on Social Security, you're limited on what you can bring in. And then you're taxed after being taxed. So see, being old is really a challenge for some. And I'm blessed in that I'm not as challenged as what some people are. When we look back and we see some of our former classmates and we see the condition and the health position that they're in, we are really blessed. So it has to do with taking better care of yourself, understanding that your body wasn't what it was. Now in your head, your head said, yes, let's do it. Your body said, yeah, you can try that shit if you want to. I'm gonna put you out, sit you down. But being old is not easy, especially when you've lost loved ones. See, when you reach around 40, in your mid 40s, your early 50s, That's when you get to the point to where you create death circles. And I know it sounds hard morbid, but that's in sociology, a death circle or those individuals in which you draw close to you. Most of the time, it's your siblings. Sometimes it's your best friends, those individuals that you were raised with. And these are the individuals that you gather in your later life. And these are the individuals that you want to die with. And it sounds morbid, but it's the truth. You want those individuals in your latter part of your life, your best part, and it should be your best part of your life. You should be living your life to the fullest. These are the individuals that you have always known. These are the individuals that you have faith and trust in. These are the individuals that you can feel vulnerable with. They know you. They know you in and out. So if you're blessed to have elders, you have to understand or come to have some type of cognitive understanding that they're going through things that they don't want you to know about. And you can be an active participant in an indirect way. If you know that they like certain things, well, then get it for them. Groceries are high. Groceries are high. So if you know that they like cabbage, or if you know there's a certain food that they like, and if you pay attention to what this when they talk to you, they're telling you already what exactly what's what. So if you pay attention, then you understand that subconsciously they're telling you that this is the way it is. Well, I haven't been able to do this and I haven't been able to do that. That should send a flag to you that, okay, they're not asking, they just tell you, ask them how the day is going, and they've told you. So what are you going to do about it? See, what is it? I've already, because of not being cognitive, because of not being responsible, I've had to have 3 oral surgeries on my gums because it's because of me not taking care of my teeth. I've gone from gingivitis to periodontal disease, which you cannot cure periodontal disease. You can only manage it. So with Social Security and then with the insurance that I have, it's still hard because of my insurance not being part of the circle or the cycle or the group that UAB handles. Well, then I have to come out of pocket, and then the insurance company reimburses me back. Now, if I had insurance that was part of the group, well, then the School of Dentistry would bill the insurance company, and then the insurance company would send me a bill letting me know that you owe us this, which means it causes me to pause because if UAB is a public institution, if UAB belongs to the retirement systems of Alabama, what does it matter what insurance I have? What does it matter? So see, 200, what is it? The oral surgeries were like $1,500. So if you are on a fixed income, $1,500 is a lot of money. It doesn't matter what I have uh, stored up. It doesn't matter. It's still that 1,500 had to come out of the budget. I've always lived on a budget, but now I'm more stingent. I'm more rigid when it comes to the budget. So see, you have to play around, and I'm still blessed, and that I'm able still to have those things that I want to a minimum, to a max, to a minimum. And then I have to watch my diet. what I was familiar with for health reasons. Because see, your body, if you don't start taking care of your body starts deteriorating. And that I'm not saying, and then when I say deteriorating, it's getting old and gravity is having a stronger hold on than it did in the beginning. So see, because of diabetes running in the family, because of hypertension running in the family, I have to be very cautious on what I eat, how much I eat. Now, I've been blessed in that the high blood pressure medicine that I'm taking is only for management. Now, when it comes to diabetes, when Dr. Bonnie told me that I was going to have to take that medicine, I had to look and see what the side effects of that medicine was. And the side effects were horrendous. See, I already have myasthenia gravis. And because of having myasthenia gravis, the methadone that I'm taking is already affecting and putting pressure and stress on my kidneys and liver. So, see, I'm not going to take anything that's going to add to that. So I had to make a choice. Do I get up off of my, do I get up and start walking, start exercising, or do I start taking the diabetic medicine? Was no option. As long as I can control everything about me, I'm going to do it. So think about your older folks. Think about the elders in your family. Are they as active as they were when they were younger, when you were younger? So see, you have to keep that in mind. Our world is changing. Again, COVID has knocked the wind out of some of us, if not all of us. Some of us it's easy for some of us to bounce back, whereas it takes some of us a little bit more time. So see, that's where the village comes into play. That's where family comes into play. The elders took care of you when you were younger. They provided for you when you were younger. You didn't even know the sacrifices that they made to make sure that you had what you wanted. You don't understand the money that it took for you to be in all those sports or all those activities or extracurricular activities. You don't understand that. It wasn't for you to understand. You don't know in most cases what they were doing behind the scenes to make sure that you were okay. They made your life simple. They made your life easy, less complicated, less stressful. So now it's your time to step up and do what you can. It's your time. But you can't be old. There's so much things that have changed. I wasn't, it baffled me when I heard people asking their children, "What do you want?" And you have three children, and each one has a different meal or supper or food in mind, and you cook it. I wish I would tell my, I wish I would tell my mama, my grandmama, I wanted this. You better eat what's on that plate, and you better make sure your plate was clean. See, what we once knew is no longer. We didn't have the fear of being video. We didn't have the fear of people watching us do things that we were not supposed to be doing. Didn't, wasn't concerned about it. So see, we are being brought into a world to where we have to make those changes. We have to modify. We're doing banking online now. I don't think, this checks are rarely being used. So when you're familiar with only writing checks, and now all of a sudden And in some places, which really is baffling, some places won't even accept checks. So you have a debit card. And also you can register online when it comes to your Social Security or when it comes to your teacher's retirement. You register and you get your what you call it when you register, create an account. So now you have an account with teachers retirement. Now you have an account with Social Security. And yes, it's simpler and it's much easier, but you have to understand that this is all relatively new to us. My aunt is only 5 years older than me. And she's thinking about going and doing things online, banking online. And yes, it's scary for some of us to have to change the way we do things because we don't have any choice, really. And then because of the situation, because of circumstances, we have to sit back and we didn't even think about having a budget. I have always worked off of a budget. I always had a budget. I always knew what was going in and coming out. And of course, during my younger days, I had more going out than I had coming in, but it is what it is. So see, you can't be weak to be old. And most of us do not want to put the stress or the pressure on the younger ones because we know that you have obligations, you have responsibilities. So we make do. And you don't even know that we're making do because we're not going to tell you that we're not doing okay because that's only adding stress to you. And see, if you've never been a caregiver, you cannot even imagine what it's like. I have an abundance of respect and admiration for someone to be a caregiver. My aunt was a caregiver. My godmom was a caregiver. My aunt, who is the youngest, took care of my grandmother, her mother. Now, it was the only time that I came so close to being disrespectful to my mama because I couldn't understand how my grandmother had three children. My grandmother had my mom, had my uncle, had my aunt. But when it came down to taking care of my grandmother, all the responsibility went to my aunt, who was the youngest. I found fault with that. I didn't understand that. Why would one sibling have to be responsible for the mother when there's two of you left? Three of you all together. Mama, you would travel from Mobile up to Winfield and would have to go by Montgomery to get to Winfield. And she didn't even stop in Montgomery. I had a problem with that. And then when she would venture back home, she wouldn't stop. I had a problem with that. And I confronted my mom. You could stop over going to Winfield, spend a day, give Deborah, my aunt, give Deborah a breather. And then when you're coming back, you could spend the weekend. Your house is still going to be in Foley. You can do the weekend to give Deborah a chance to get a breather. Only time I got really close to being disrespectful, I always had a problem of my uncle not stepping up. I always had a problem of my uncle saying that, well, I couldn't do it. I mean, you're lying. You don't want to do it. But yet, he was the only boy, and in a way, I'm not saying he was a favorite, but I don't understand. But then I had to remember when I was in therapy, I had to remember that that's not my business. I'm the grandchild. So my perspective of my opinion of my uncle is going to be totally different than my mom's and my aunt, because that's their brother and they love their brother. And I can understand that. I didn't understand the irresponsibility or and I call it disrespect of not wanting to help your sister with your mom. And today I still have a problem with it. I still have a problem, and I don't know what he's going through. And personally, I really don't care what he's going through. All I can see is that the responsibility of taking care of my grandmother fell on my aunt. And I was very angry about that, but it wasn't none of my business. Because see, I did what I could. I went down every other weekend. So see, you now fast forward, you have to be cognitive of what your folks are going through. And even though they tell you that I'm good, I'm fine, I don't need anything, you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not. And again, I understand that you have so much on you as it is, because you have a family that you're taking care of. You have children that or you're taking care of. But at the same time, you have an individual who's taken their life, and their life revolves around you and still revolves around you. And you can do little things. They once gave you money. They once brought you things. And see, and we have got to get out of this mentality of where we only wait till certain holidays. Why would you wait to the end of the year to get somebody something when you have 11 other months? And you don't even know, because of things happening, you don't even know if those individuals are going to be alive at the end of the year. So if you know that your mom needs a vacuum cleaner, or your mom or your aunt or your grandparents need this, why don't you go ahead and give it to them now? Let them enjoy that. Acknowledge them now. Don't acknowledge them when they're gone. See, that's why I have a problem with funerals, because I think funerals are only for the living. After someone's dead, then all of a sudden, after years or months or whatever of not seeing him, all of a sudden you want to come and gather and give them the praise, give them the attributes. Why? I don't understand why any individuals will wait 2 or 3 weeks to have people to come from out of state. Those individuals who live out of state didn't take the time to come and visit the individual when they were living. So why would you give them why would you give them 3 weeks? Why would you even give them a chance? If you weren't here in person, calling on the phone is cool and good. But you didn't think that it was important to bring your ass from Michigan down to Alabama or New York or from Florida or Georgia. You didn't think enough of them then. So why would I even give you acknowledgement? Why would I even agree to give you 2 weeks for you to come? Don't wait till I'm dead to celebrate me. Celebrate my ass now. Let me know how much you appreciate me. Let me know how much you cherish me. Let me know how much you for me being in your life. See, that's why mine's already set up. Mine's already set up. I'm not having a gathering. I'm not having a visitation. I'm not having a wake. I'm not giving anybody any type of stage. I'm not giving anybody any type of way of easing their conscience. I'm not going to do it. I'm not even having a graveyard service. Because if you cannot acknowledge me now while I'm living, I'm not going to give you the stage to ease your conscience when I can't hear you. And that's how it should be for you and your family. You acknowledge those individuals now. You know how important they are, and you should let them know how much you appreciate them. You love them. It's not easy being old. You see things changing, and you don't want them to change, but you know the change has to come. So you have to adapt. You don't have the funds that you once knew. It takes a lot to maintain a house. And see, we have got to get out of this. Why do we put everybody in one group? Why? Some people don't want a goddamn house. Why does anybody have to have a house? Some people don't want the responsibility of having a house. Some people don't want the responsibility of, they don't want the responsibility. We generalize. Same way when it comes to when it comes to health and all, you have this chart that if you're 5'8", you have to be this a certain amount of weight. You have to, why? You don't know my lineage. You don't know my ancestry. You don't know what conditions I have. So I'm 5'8". You didn't take in consideration that diabetes runs into my family. You didn't take in consideration that hypertension runs in my family. You just lump me with everybody else in this damn chart. And see, that's what we do too when it comes to families. Some families are closer than others. Some families need that connection every day. I didn't need the connection every day. My uncle's sister, my uncle's wife, talks to her family members 3 and 4 times a day. I would go crazy. What the fuck are you talking about 3 and 4 times a day? I don't need you around me all the time. Don't want you around me all the time. Again, I don't need the attention. Don't need the attention. Don't want the attention. But it's time to step up more so. Be mindful of those elders in your family. Let those elders know how much you appreciate them, how much you love having them in your life, and how much they mean so much to you. Because it's hard to be old. You have to take in mind your health. Diabetes can be regulated, and I plan on regulating my my A1C or whatever the hell it's called, went back up to 5'8". Oh, but no, it will be going back down to 5'4". I've changed how I do things. I'm taking better care of it when it comes to my kidneys, when it comes to my liver, when it comes to my colon, when it comes to my high blood pressure, which again, I'm only taking medicine because of maintenance. I don't have high blood pressure, but it's hereditary. So I just take the lowest milligrams because it's just for maintenance. And plus two, during the time, research has shown that the medicine that I'm taking protects the heart. The myasthenia, I have to take it forever. But I can add things to my diet to strengthen my kidneys, to strengthen my liver, to strengthen my colon, to cleanse everything. But see, I've been blessed. You have family members that you probably don't even know about their doctor's schedule. You probably don't even know about anything occurring with them. And it's time for you to step up. Again, you cannot be a pussy and be old. You can't. And you don't have to do it by yourself. You can get together with family members. You don't know the changes that we're going through. Cannot even imagine. Medicine is high. Medicine is high. You have a Congress that's not do nothing. The same medicine that we have here in the States, they have over in Canada, and it's much cheaper because it's regulated. There's something wrong with that. So we're not only having to worry about our medicine, but we're having to be concerned with our daily rounds. I mean, who have you called today? Who have you called today? Have you called your mama? Have you called your daddy? Have you called your grandmama, your aunt, your uncle? Have you called those individuals who are significant and relevant? Have you called them and acknowledged them today? Have you asked them how your day going? Get in the habit of doing that. You know, they probably tell you, well, you don't have to do that. No, you don't have to. You don't have to call them every day. You can call them at least twice a week. Or you can make it a habit, but don't start something that you can't finish. Because once you start, they're going to start looking forward to that. And you don't know how much that brightens their life to hear from you. You don't know the energy that you give them when you acknowledge them. The energy, the strength. Can't be old and be a pussy. Can't. Not even in the equation. You can't. Being old is hard. And then for you having children, it's going to be much harder because things are still changing with y'all. Can't be old. Can't. We've lost a lot of folks. The only one that's left, the only one that I claim is my aunt. Is my aunt. My aunt's the last living individual. There's no one left on my dad's side. And plus, I don't socialize with them anyway, so it wouldn't matter. I think the only time I had any type of interaction with my dad's side, my cousin, my aunts, uh, my dad's sister, daughter, Jerry Azar. I mentioned something about I was my grandmother's favorite. She had the audacity to get on and mention it. Well, I'm a grandchild. No one talked about you, bitch. Nobody even care about you. You just like your mama. You're ugly as hell. And I see by your response to what I wrote, you have the mentality of your mom. So that's one reason why I don't socialize with you. But see, I'm not like my dad. I have no problem cussing you out and hurting your feelings. So see, that'd be only difference. But see, I knew to stay away from you, to isolate you because you would make me cuss you out. Jerry Azar. So see, I don't even keep in touch with them. Don't even care where they are. So, you have to keep that in the equation too. But there's no one left other than my aunt. And I'm good with that. But see, I don't need the attention. I don't want the attention. Now, being an Aquarian, I want the attention. I don't want the you know, I don't like long visits. Just come in, pop up, see how am I doing, talk a little while, maybe an hour, then leave. I don't need the attention. There are people who don't want the attention. There are people who need the attention. There are people who need their families around them. Because once you get old, you want that closeness. You need that closeness. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's a travesty for individuals not to have anything to do with those loved ones. And then all of a sudden they pass away, and then you get on a stage crying, boo-hoo. Too late. It's too late. You should never leave the house mad. You should always kiss and say, I'll see you later, because you don't know. And when you come back, you need to make sure you always hug. But you never leave mad. You never go to bed mad. And you need to get in, if you do, you need to get in the habit of stopping. You never go to bed mad. You never leave mad. We'll deal with this situation later. I love you. But you never leave mad. You never go to bed mad. Because you never know. Same way with those individuals who are relevant and significant. You never know. People have fallen asleep and never awakened. And then you regret never letting them know. Now they have an understanding, but it's nice to know. It's nice to hear that I love you. What you doing? What can I do? What you need? You know I'm thinking about you. You know how much that empowers a day? Do you understand how much that adds minutes and hours to their life? Just that one call. Can you imagine what a visit would do? You know, on TikTok, I see where the grandchildren have gathered together and they go over to the grandparents' home and they have a sleepover. Do you understand the power that gives the grandparents to see all of their grandchildren wanting to spend time with them? Their grandchildren wanting to spend time with them. Do you understand the power that possesses? You have lengthened their days. Or then to have the family to come over. Or even have a family gathering for a holiday. Have just your immediate family. You don't have to have all the aunts and uncles together, just the immediate family. Your mom, your parents, your siblings, their children, their spouses, just you. You as a unit, you as a nucleus. It's good to just be together yourselves. It's good to be able to sit down as one group, as one unit. And then if you want to add others, that's cool. But just like you have date nights, you should have that week or that weekend to where it's just the core. The parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews. Just a core family. Being old is hard. And for some, it's miserable. They've lost their friends. Their family don't come around anymore. They feel unwanted. And that's the worst feeling to have when you're old. You feel unwanted. You feel unneeded. You don't see value. You don't see worth in your life. And it's not helping any better for your family, not even to show that you have value, to show that you have worth, show that you have significance in the family. because you gave so much. You sacrificed so much. And see, this is the time too, when we celebrate Black history, how many of you have sat down to hear your family's history, to have your elders talk? And they want to talk, they want to relive. Now, some things are going to sound crazy. Okay, and what? And what? So it sounds crazy to you. You need to know your family history. And especially with you being from Birmingham, you have rich history that no one else has possessed. You probably didn't even know that your grandmama or dated whatever cooked for some of the marchers. You probably didn't even know that Reverend Shuttlesworth, Reverend Dr. King came over. You probably don't know that. You probably didn't even know that your dad was a barber. A dear friend of mine, dad was a barber of Birmingham. Would come over to the shop, have their hair cut. That's rich history. You have rich history. You don't even know it. But see, that's a way of getting together, showing this elder, this individual who holds significance and relevance in your life, that we want to know what we are. We want to know us. Tell me about us. Tell me what it was like during the campaign. Tell me what it was like for us growing up. Where were we beginning? Where do we live in Birmingham? Take them to the place. Say, let's go for a ride. Show me where we used to live. Show me where you used to live. Show me where you grew up. Show me what used to be here, what used to be there. Because you're giving them credence. You give them acknowledgement. You're showing them that they have value, that they have worth. You want to know from them, what was it like? Tell me about you. So you're not only giving back to them, you're not only acknowledging them, you're not only empowering them, you're not only lengthening their days. You're showing them how much you value them, but also they're reliving this stuff that they possibly forgot that would bring back happy memories. It's a way. It doesn't cost any money. So if you were concerned about the money, don't cost any money. Don't. If you know that they like flowers, bring them flowers. If you know they can't do any gardening anymore, bring them something to give them to brighten their day. But 9 times out of 10, you don't have to pay. Money doesn't even come into play most of the time. You spending time with them is all they want. Telephone calls are good. Telephone calls are good as initiative, as a beginning. But you can pop by at least once, maybe twice a week on the weekends, or even invite them out when your child is playing some sport. Invite them out. If they're able to get around and you know that they enjoyed sports, take them to the sport. And do you not understand you're helping both generations out? You're not only helping the elders out, but you're helping the younger folks out, because see, we fail to realize the younger people need acknowledgement too. And to have their grandparents at their games, to have their favorite aunt and uncle at their games. They play better, they do better, they act better. And then to bring the young ones around them, you'd be surprised how much energy both gain from that. There's been studies to where they would take kindergartners to these nursing homes, and these kindergartners would be around these elderly folks, these elders. And the elders who at one time didn't have any type of life in them, all of a sudden blossomed. And these younger kids enjoyed being with these older individuals because the older individuals give good hugs. See, there ain't nothing like a hug. And if you're blessed to be around individuals who give those hugs, you better accept them, you better want them, you better need them, because when they're gone, they're gone. It's left up to you. It's left up to you to strengthen that bridge. And then too, sometimes life is what it is. And sometimes you may have to build or you have to repair bridges. And that's beneficial too in some cases. Life has a funny way of bringing folks back together. You have to accept that time and that chance, because a chance won't come again, and it rarely does come again. Sometimes it doesn't even present itself. So being old is hard, and it's even harder when you feel alone, when you feel abandoned, when you feel destitute. Step up to the plate. Acknowledge these individuals. Now, do what you can do. Do what you can do, because it doesn't take any time. It doesn't take any time. Not whatsoever. But I appreciate you. Appreciate you stepping in on Friday's Eve. Have a good day. If you haven't contacted, if you haven't called, make a call today before the end of the day. Make it now. Make it now. Shock the hell out of them. Let them know that there's nothing wrong. I was just thinking about you. I wanted you to know how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, how much I love having you in my life. Make that day. Y'all take care of yourselves. I will see you tomorrow on Friday. Y'all take care of yourselves. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are anything and everything you want to be. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. I'll see y'all tomorrow.